All right, let's talk about the buzzword that's everywhere in golf right now, 10K. You've seen it on all the new drivers, and it's being sold as the ultimate cure for your slice. But is it a real game changer, or is it just clever marketing? We're going to cut right through the hype and figure out if a 10K driver is actually the right club for your game. So let's dive in. Before we get all technical, let's just talk about a feeling. A feeling every single one of us who plays this crazy game knows all too well. It's the feeling that sends us running to the pro shop looking for that one magic bullet. You know what I'm talking about. We have all been there. You stripe one right down the middle, pure as can be. You feel like a tour pro. And then, the very next swing, a banana slice into the woods. It is the most frustrating thing in golf, right? Well, it's that exact problem, that maddening inconsistency that this new driver technology is claiming to solve. Okay, so what is this supposed miracle cure? It's a term you've probably heard a million times by now, 10K MOI. But what in the world does that actually mean? Let's decode it, because understanding this is the key to this whole conversation. So that 10K part, it's not just a cool-sounding name they picked out of a hat. It comes from a very specific measurement, 10,000 grams centimeter squared. This is basically the magic number, the threshold for what the golf world considers an extremely high moment of inertia, or MOI in a driver head.
So moment of inertia, what is it? Without getting a full-on physics lesson, just think of it like this. It's a measure of how much the club head fights against twisting when you don't hit it perfectly. And let's be honest, how often do we hit it perfectly? Not very often.
And here's the big takeaway, the reason you should care. Higher MOIs simply means more forgiveness. A 10K driver is engineered from the ground up to be incredibly stable. So when you hit it off the toe or a little on the heel, the face stays much, much squarer through impact. The bottom line, it's designed to make your bad shots a whole lot better.
Now that sounds amazing, doesn't it? Maximum forgiveness. Who wouldn't want that? Well, this is where it gets interesting. This is where we get to the great trade-off in golf club design. Because believe it or not, there's a really good reason why so many of the best players in the world still choose a standard lower MOI driver.
Let's look at that safety net in action. With a 10K driver, you miss the sweet spot and that ball still has a pretty good chance of finding the fairway, maybe just in the rough. You do that same thing with a standard driver and that same exact miss is way more likely to be a reload, costing you distance and a penalty stroke.
And this is a big but. Here's the first part of the trade-off. To get all that stability, club designers have to stretch and spread weight all around the club head. A standard driver doesn't have to do that. It can concentrate its mass to create pure, raw ball speed right on the sweet spot. So if you're someone who finds the middle of the face consistently, a standard driver might actually squeeze out a few extra yards for you. And then there's part two of the trade-off, control and feel. Think of it like this. A 10K driver is like a big, comfy SUV with power steering. It's super stable, it's easy to drive, and it just wants to go straight. A standard driver? That's more like a high-performance sports car with tight, responsive steering. It goes exactly where you tell it to go, for better or for worse. And that workability, that precision is what really skilled players live for. Okay, so we've got these two different design philosophies, right? Maximum forgiveness on one side and maximum control and finesse on the other. So now let's bring it back to you. Let's figure out which one of these camps you really fall into.
The golfer who's going to see the biggest benefit from a 10K driver, it's probably a mid to high handicapper. If your number one goal is just to hit more fairways, if finding the center of the club face feels like a lottery, well, this technology was literally made for you. It's all about giving you the confidence to swing away, knowing the club has your back.
On the other hand, the standard driver is for the player who's already a pretty consistent ball striker. This golfer isn't really looking for a club to fix their mistakes. They're looking for a tool, a precision instrument that lets them execute more advanced shots, like hitting a high fade around a dogleg. For them, that control and feedback is way more valuable than a safety net they don't feel like they need.
So, we've broken down the tech, we've looked at the big trade-offs, and we've talked about the two types of players. Let's wrap this all up and put it into a final, really clear comparison so you can make your own call. Okay, let's put them head to head. You can see it right here. If what you want is the absolute highest level of forgiveness to keep the ball in play, the arrow points straight to 10K. But if you value the flexibility to curve the ball on command, that's where the standard driver wins out. It really just comes down to being honest about your own game and what you need most. And, this is probably the single most important thing to remember through all of this. It's so easy to get caught up in the marketing hype, but there is no such thing as the best driver for everyone. The best driver is and always will be the one that helps you shoot lower scores. It's a totally personal choice.
So as you head out to test new drivers, or even just think about the one in your bag, this is really the question you need to ask yourself. Are you looking for a club that's designed to fix your misses, or are you looking for one that's designed to reward your absolute best swings? The answer to that question will tell you everything you need to know.